How much money do you actually need to never work again? Not a random number you saw online, your real number. In the next few minutes, I'll walk you through a simple, honest framework to figure that out, without hype or made-up statistics. Your freedom number is simply the amount of money that would let your investments and other income cover your living expenses indefinitely, so working becomes optional rather than necessary. It's not a magic lump sum that appears in a headline. It's a personal calculation based on your own spending and life goals. The number is different for everyone because it depends entirely on how you live, not on some universal formula. Before we can calculate anything, we need to get clear on what this number is actually trying to answer. The foundation of any freedom number is your actual annual expenses, not a guess. Most people underestimate what they spend because they forget irregular costs like home repairs, travel, or medical expenses. A realistic freedom number starts with tracking spending over a meaningful period of time, ideally a full year, so you capture the ups and downs. If you skip this step, everything after it is built on a shaky foundation, no matter how sophisticated your math looks. Once you know your annual expenses, many planners use the idea of multiplying that number by some factor to estimate a target portfolio size. The logic is that a large enough portfolio can be drawn down slowly, over decades, using a sustainable withdrawal rate. You may have heard this referred to loosely as a rule of thumb in retirement research. It's a useful starting concept, but it's not a guarantee. Actual outcomes depend on market performance, how long you live, and how flexible your spending is. Treat any multiple you hear as a rough starting point, not a promise. The truth is, withdrawal guidelines were built on historical data and assumptions that may not repeat exactly in the future. Someone retiring for a shorter period has different risk than someone planning for a much longer retirement. Your mix of investments, your flexibility to cut spending in a bad year, and your other resources all change how conservative or aggressive your number should be. This is why copying someone else's freedom number, or a number you saw in a video title, can be misleading. Your freedom number isn't just about your portfolio in isolation. It's about the gap between your expenses and all your income sources combined. If you expect a pension, rental income, part-time work, or other predictable cash flow, that reduces how much your investments alone need to cover. This step often makes people feel like their goal is more achievable than they assumed, because they were only thinking about savings and forgetting other resources already lined up. Healthcare costs, inflation, family needs, and simply living longer than expected are all reasons to avoid cutting your number too close to the edge. A thoughtful plan includes some cushion rather than assuming everything goes exactly as modeled. This doesn't mean piling on fear-based padding. It means being honest that the future is uncertain and building flexibility into your plan rather than rigid certainty. A common mistake is anchoring to a number seen online without adjusting it for personal spending habits or location. Another is ignoring taxes on withdrawals, which can meaningfully change how much you actually get to spend. Some people also treat their freedom number as fixed forever, when in reality it should be revisited regularly as expenses, health, and goals change over time. To recap the process, get honest about your real annual spending, understand the general idea behind sustainable withdrawal concepts without treating any single rule as gospel, subtract other income you expect to receive, and build in a reasonable cushion for uncertainty. This gives you a working freedom number, one grounded in your actual life, not a marketing headline. It's a living calculation you'll revisit, not a one-time answer. Your freedom number isn't about chasing a viral figure. It's about understanding your own spending, your own income, and your own margin for uncertainty. If this framework helped you think more clearly about retirement, subscribe for more grounded, no-hype personal finance videos, and share this with someone who's trying to figure out their own number.